Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of the Rider Review brought to you by 13K Productions after a solid win by the Riders, 29-21, I believe it was. I'd have to go back and double check the score because I don't have it up right now. But the Riders did come away with a win in Week 1 against the Edmonton Elks, with Shawn Bane Jr. going off for 3 touchdowns and Trevor Harris passing the 30,000 career passing yards mark. Um, First off, we're just going to go over a little bit of news that I wasn't able to cover last week because the Riders were on bye week, and unfortunately, I didn't get to do a podcast because it was a whole busy thing, and I'm just going to try it. I like to give myself a week off here and there, and the bye weeks, they're the perfect week to do so. So, on May 29th, the Hamilton Tiger Cats brought back American receiver Stephen Dunbar Jr. He played 13 games with the Elks in 2023, and he got 39 passes for 536 yards and 5 touchdowns. And he was actually the third highest paid receiver in the league, and he was released so the Elks could avoid paying him a $65,000 roster bonus. Honestly, I think Hamilton really needs receiver help. I don't see anything special looking at their receiving core, which is, it is what it is. Hamilton's there. I don't think they're that great of a team. They lost to Calgary in Week 1 here. Bo looked decent. I wouldn't say he was anything special, but I think Dunbar is going to help them out. And yeah. And then this was big news here. Unfortunately, Calgary Stampeders receiver Malik Henry will be missing the entire 2024 CFL season after suffering a patellar tendon injury during practice. During a practice they had I believe last week. It's really unfortunate. He has so much potential, in 3 games he got 14 passes for 228 yards last season. It sucks when you see guys go down like that, even if they're not on the Riders. It only makes the CFL better when these guys are playing. And unfortunately, with Henry out, CFL is, unfortunately, they're worse off with that. So, what do you do, right? And then some Riders news here. The Riders released Mason Fine, Antonio Pipkin, and Braden Lenius ahead of the roster cut down day. If I'm being honest, like I said, I wouldn't be, like I said last episode, I wouldn't be surprised if Pipkin left the team. Yeah, Pipkin's gone. It is what it is. We have Cone, and personally, I would have rather kept Fine or Pipkin, but it is what it is. Cone and Patterson are our backups now, which, you know what? All the power to them. I'm happy they made the roster. Fine. I think he's a 3-year veteran of the CFL. He does. I think he has a future playing a backup somewhere. Just, clearly it's not in Saskatchewan. I guess they saw something and then they didn't. Pipkin, they signed him to an extension, and I guess it's the same situation that they saw him and they didn't. One player that I thought was really unfortunate was Lenius. He had such a bright future here in Saskatchewan, but unfortunately just wasn't able to see it through because of how injured he was. What are you supposed to do in that situation, right? Like, if your best ability is availability, so it's just tough. It's a tough game and even tougher business. So, yeah. And then the BC Lions ended up releasing Marcus Sayles, who then pretty much immediately sent to Saskatchewan Roughriders. I think it was a interesting move by BC. I think mainly they just didn't want to pay him, which, all the power to them. He comes to Saskatchewan, and I don't believe he played in Week 1 because I didn't see him on the depth chart. But that is a crazy get for the Riders. If you thought our defense couldn't get any better, well, Jeremy O'Day just went out and proved you wrong. So Sayles, I think he's going to be a great ad for us here in Saskatchewan, and who knows? Hopefully, he can return to his 2022 All-Star form. So, fingers crossed that Sales comes here and he plays out of his mind on that defense. And something that I am really excited for. I know a lot of traditional CFL fans won't really see much into this, but the Jonas Brothers are slated to perform the Grey Cup halftime show in BC this year, and I am super excited for that. I think it was a great move by Amar Doman, who got 50 Cent to perform at the home opener in BC. I think Amar Doman is just making moves upon moves. I mean, this was probably, I think, in my opinion, because I'm a different generation, I think this is probably the biggest halftime show since Shania Twain back in 2017, I believe it was. And I'm not saying that Green Day wasn't great. Like, I'm just saying, like, where the Jonas Brothers are currently in their popularity. They're going on tour. I think they're going overseas. I just saw on their Instagram they're going overseas pretty soon here before they come back for the Grey Cup. And I can tell you one thing, if I'm working on Grey Cup, I'm booking that day off. I'm watching that Grey Cup game because, one, knock on wood here, the Saskatchewan Roughriders will be in the Grey Cup and I will get to see a Jonas Brothers performance. Either way, I'm going to be watching that. I'm super excited. And then the Ottawa Red Blacks revealed a new jersey. It's kind of sort of a throwback with some decent. I really like the jerseys. I honestly do. It's a new home jersey. I feel like they could have switched up the aways too, but overall, it's not a bad looking jersey. I don't mind it. And then, let's see here. Where are we? The Edmonton Elks also revealed a new jersey. 75 anniversaries. I mean, they played the Riders in them on Saturday, which, I mean, they looked okay on the field. I like the concept, but honestly, I feel like the Riders jerseys were so much better. But yeah, the Saskatchewan Roughriders jerseys, the Riders, I should say, also revealed a new jersey, the Obsidian Green jersey, and I will tell you right now that I'm going to be buying one of those jerseys as soon as I can. They look absolutely fresh. I'm excited to see the team play in them. I will be going to a game, at least one of the games that they were wearing those jerseys, because I'm not crazy. I can't miss out on them. You guys will notice, for those of you who are watching the podcast right now on YouTube, I do have it's a black hat, but I will be getting that jersey to match up with this. I think, honestly, I'm going to rank I had this kind of idea that I wanted to do. I wanted to rank the jerseys here. If I had to rank these jerseys, I'm a big fan of blackout jerseys or whiteout jerseys. And even though it's not blackout, it's obsidian green out, I think it's even better. So I'm ranking those obsidian greens at the top of the list. I like our home greens at 2. And then everybody come at me, Rider fans. I'm sorry. You guys aren't going to like this. I know it's not a popular opinion, but our away whites in 3rd and the retros in 4th. Honestly, the retros, they're great jerseys. I love them, but something has to take 4th here, and I don't think that they make the top 3 on the list there. But yeah, so the Elks, what was I going to say here? So Shawn Bane Jr., let's get into the game review here, tied a CFL record, or not a CFL record, a Saskatchewan Roughriders record, sorry, I should say, for 3 touchdowns in a game. The day before his 25th, before his, what birthday is it? I should probably double check this here. I don't want to get this wrong. Shawn is a friend of the podcast, so shout out to him here. We should double check here. before his 29th birthday. Shawn turned 29 on Sunday, so happy birthday to him. What a game. That's something that you just don't see often. And then, like I said, Trevor Harris passed 30,000 receiving yards. I think the team overall, like the offense there, they had their struggles, but I do believe they looked cohesive there. Ouellette, he did Ouellette things. AJ Ouellette was, I believe he scored a touchdown there, and that's just he ran through everybody. I'm super excited to go. I believe I'm going to be attending the first game of the season. I'm super excited to see that new look offense. That I'm honestly super excited. And then the defense, they struggled. They started slow. But I think that's a Corey Mace defense thing there. I think they can definitely do better. Sorry, excuse me. But, it is what it is. It's the beginning of the season. They're knocking off the rust. I think if they start off better, I think there's sky's the limit for this defense because I think they just got beat out by the Elk. I just think they were honestly just beat by the Elks. The Elks started quick and they were high motor and Now, one thing that I have to point out here, there has to be a lot more discipline here. That just when Furlan goes and punches a guy in the face, that just cannot happen. I will tell you, if I did that when I played football, we were an 0-6 team. Granted, we were an 0-6 team when I played. I'd be running to Saskatoon and back. I tell you, if I did that, I forgot to mention that when I called into the Green Zone postgame show. Shout out to the Green Zone, big listener of them. But that is just, it's ridiculous, honestly. Furlan should be ashamed for that. But it's something that they've got to work on, and I think Mace will have it in for them in practice this week. I place my full faith in this guy as a coach, and I genuinely think he can lead this team to greatness, and we're only going to see it come to fruition there. And and after this game happened, I pointed out the Elks there. I don't know if you're the city of Edmonton. I don't know how you position selling this team, how you pitch it to anybody in the city of Edmonton. Like, they're losing money. They don't get fans in the door. And they are not a great team at all. Like, they cannot play football with their lives. I think that franchise just, it's your 75th year anniversary and you can't. It's one game, but, I don't see the Elks being successful this year. I really don't. I think you have to can Chris Jones because he's not a great coach anymore. He was good when he was here for the couple of years, right? He turned this franchise right around, but I just think he's too defensively minded, right? I just don't know what you do. I'm speechless with that team there. I think they've got themselves in a tough situation, and it's a long way out. It's a really long way out. I guess before we close off here, some recent news this week. The Hamilton Tiger Cats have signed the brother of the NFL's Tua Tagovailoa in Tolia Tagovailoa to their practice roster. Tolia, I think he has a genuine shot at starting. I think he holds a record in the NCAA there. It says here he played 41 collegiate games over 4 seasons at the University of Maryland, where he completed 67.1% of his passes, and he went for 11 1,000 yards. There we go. We can talk. 76 touchdowns, 37 interceptions, while rushing for 206 yards and 13 touchdowns. I like that move by Hamilton. It's great news for the CFL. I do write a little bit over at Total Pro Sports, so if you guys want to go look at some of my articles there, be my guest. They wrote on it right away. I think it's real good publicity for the CFL, and I like the move by the Tiger Cats. So, and this just recently, the Ottawa Red Blacks have signed veteran defensive back Winston Rose to their practice squad. Rose most recently played for the Blue Bombers, and he was last season a healthy scratch through a postseason or through their postseason run. I think he still has it in him. The guy can play football. I like it. I believe he's won a Grey Cup with the team. Could be 2. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it. But I like the signing for Ottawa. It is what it is. Nothing that I can really comment too much on because I haven't sat down and watched a bunch of Winnipeg games, obviously because I am a Saskatchewan fan. But I digress. It's a good signing there. But ladies and gentlemen, I know it's a quick one, but that is it for the Rider Review brought to you by 13K Productions. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I guess I will see you guys next week after hopefully another Rider win in Hamilton.